Hey babe, last night was a moment I will never forget. There are moments in life that change everything, and last night was one of those defining moments. I did something I never thought I would have the courage to do, something that's been weighing heavily on my heart for so long. It's been a secret, a deeply personal part of my life that I've carried with me, and I knew that the time had finally come for me to share it. I sat down with my family, took a deep breath, and told them the biggest secret I've been keeping. It's something so personal, something that involves you, and it's something I've been afraid to tell them for a long time. But I knew that I couldn't keep it inside any longer. It felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders. And yet, in the same breath, I also felt this strange sense of peace when I decided to finally open up. I had kept this part of me hidden for so long, and now, for the first time, I was allowing the people I loved the most to understand a part of me that was so deeply connected to my happiness. It wasn't easy. It wasn't simple. But in the end, it was worth it, and it was time. I remember sitting there, looking at them, unsure of what to say first. My heart was racing, and I could feel the tension building up in my chest. I didn't know how they were going to react. I didn't know if they were going to understand or if they were going to be disappointed or hurt. Would they be shocked? Would they be judgmental? Would they look at me differently? These questions swirled in my mind as I took that first deep breath and finally said the words I had been afraid to say for so long. The moment the words left my lips, it felt like time stood still. It was like everything around me froze in place. I could feel the air in the room change, as if the world had shifted. The silence that followed was deafening, and I held my breath, unsure of how they were going to respond. Would they understand? Would they support me? Or would they see this part of my life as something that shouldn't be shared, something that was too much for them to handle? My mind raced with 1,000 possibilities, and I couldn't predict what would happen next. All I could do was brace myself, hoping for the best, but preparing myself for anything that could come. But their reactions were nothing like what I expected. To my surprise, they didn't react with shock or anger. They didn't look at me like I was crazy or make me feel like I had done something wrong. Instead, their faces lit up with something that I can only describe as pure joy. It was as though a weight had been lifted from my shoulders, and they weren't just accepting my confession, they were celebrating it. I had expected to feel a sense of relief, but what I didn't expect was how their joy would impact me. The acceptance they showed wasn't just about accepting me for who I am, it was about understanding the depth of what I had shared with them. They understood how much this part of my life meant to me, and seeing that they didn't judge me or react with skepticism was more than I could have hoped for. I felt seen, heard, and understood in a way I hadn't anticipated. I had prepared myself for hesitation, for a long pause where I would have to explain myself further. But instead, they listened to every word I said with genuine interest, with a sense of curiosity and warmth that I hadn't expected. They didn't just take my words at face value, they wanted to know more. They wanted to understand how you had come into my life, how your presence had affected me, and why I felt so strongly about you. It wasn't just about accepting the truth of my confession, it was about embracing it, fully understanding the significance it held in my life. It wasn't just about them understanding what I was saying, it was about them recognizing the profound impact you've had on me. They began asking questions, not out of judgment, but out of genuine curiosity. They wanted to know everything about you, the little things that made you who you are, the way you made me feel, and the ways you've changed my life for the better. It was incredible to see them so invested in you, in our relationship, in the happiness that you bring to my life. And as I shared more with them, I saw their excitement grow. Their smiles were wide, their eyes sparkling with joy, and their questions were thoughtful and sincere. They weren't just being polite, they were celebrating my happiness as though it were their own. Every word they spoke, every look they gave me, was filled with encouragement, with love, with a deep sense of happiness for me and for what we found together. I can't tell you how much it meant to me. In that moment, I realized that this wasn't just about sharing a part of my life. It was about sharing something that has changed me in ways I couldn't even begin to explain. And to see them respond the way they did, to see them embrace the love I found, the person who makes my heart sing, it was a feeling I can't fully put into words. I was so overwhelmed with gratitude, with a sense of peace, that I could hardly believe it was real. But what really got to me, what really touched me in a way I will never forget, was how much they cared. They didn't just accept me for sharing this secret with them, they celebrated it. After hearing everything I had to say, they didn't just stop there. They wanted to know more. They asked me questions about you, wanting to know what makes you so special to me. They didn't just want to know about the surface level things. They wanted to know the depths of who you are, the qualities that make you the person I've come to love and cherish. It was beautiful to see how much they wanted to know, how much they wanted to understand what makes you such a wonderful part of my life. Their questions weren't just polite, they were full of genuine interest, full of a desire to learn more about the person who has made such an impact on me. And as I answered their questions, I could feel their joy growing. They weren't just listening, they were celebrating. They were celebrating us, our love, and the happiness that you've brought into my life. It was a feeling I can't even begin to describe. It was overwhelming in the best possible way. In that moment, I realized something so profound. Your love isn't just something that makes me happy. It's something that has touched the hearts of those around me. It's something that has brought joy into my life in a way I never imagined possible. And it's something that has affected the people I care about the most. Your love has not only changed me, but it's also brought a new kind of joy into my family's lives. It's like you've added a light to my world, and that light shines so brightly that it can't help but reach the people around me. I could hardly believe how much this moment meant to me. It wasn't just about opening up about my love for you. It was about realizing how deeply this love has touched the people I hold dear. It's rare, it's beautiful, and it's something I will never take for granted. And so, as I share this with you, I need you to know something important. You're not just the reason I smile every single day. You are the reason my family feels a new kind of joy. A joy they didn't even realize they were missing until they saw it through me. Your love has brought light into our lives, and for that, I will always be thankful. You've changed me in ways I never thought possible, and you've touched everyone around me in ways that words can hardly capture. I am so thankful for the way you make my world brighter, for the way you filled my life with happiness and peace, and for the person you are. You've given me something that is so rare, so precious, and so beautiful that I can't imagine my life without it. You've made me see the world differently, and you've shown me what it truly means to love and be loved. I want you to know that you're not just my reason to smile every day. You've become the reason my family has learned to smile in new ways. You've brought joy into our lives, and for that, I will always cherish and appreciate you. And I hope, as you read this, you can feel how much you mean to me, not just in the way I love you, but in the way you've affected everyone I care about. I love you, and I will always be grateful for everything you bring into my life. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being the light in my life. Thank you for giving me something worth sharing. I will forever treasure this moment and everything that has come with it.